thing. Welcome, folks. Today I am here to actually give you some insight into CISSP certification. That is one thing. And then there is a lot of myth, and people generally think that CISSP is the most difficult exam and all that. I am trying to kind of clear that clutter for you to some extent today, right? So that is the intention for the entire session. Uh, First and foremost, let me go ahead and introduce myself to you guys. My name is Manoj Sharma, and I have been a military veteran. So I served for Indian Air Force for 20 years, and after my defense career, I have joined the corporate sector. Uh, I have served some companies like Accenture and then Applied Material. I recently left from Applied Material as a senior manager. And now, since I am very passionate in providing training, that is why I am here, guys. That is how it is going on. For the last 4 years, I have trained more than 700 CISSP aspirant, and many of them got certified in their first attempt for CISSP. As part of the learning curve, I have also learned how the entire CISSP thing works, and how people are little distracted when actually they are preparing for the CISSP certification, and what is the best way to go ahead and prepare for the CISSP exam. So I'm going to share that experience with you guys to some extent, whatever possible. I will try to cover up this session within 1 hour. Let's see how it goes. Okay. And as and when it comes to cybersecurity certifications, I have quite some certifications with me, like CISSP, CCSP, CSUM, CIRIS, PCI-DSS, ISO, and those kind of stuff, right? Also related to some certifications related to privacy. So that is how I am here. I am a very passionate trainer. I have been training people for last 4 years, and my focus is not just about giving a training and then let that batch go and let the next batch come. My focus is to follow up with each and every one. I take each and every aspirant as a project for me, and that is why I think Dhaval from my previous batches is already there on the call. I think he knows it better, right? How my trainings goes on, and how do I try my best to actually help you guys to get your CISSP certification. So many people got certified from my previous batches. Previous to previous batch, around 8 people out of 20 they got certified, and many people they are on the path of booking their exam, and they are just planning to go ahead and crack the exam. So that is how it is about me. With that said, let me go ahead and straightway come on the agenda for this session. So CISSP is almost everybody's dream now, because every resume what we see on internet nowadays, right? It is kind of having a JD which says that the candidate should be CISSP certified, kind of thing. So that is where actually it brings a lot of value having your CISSP certificate. Right? With that, let me give you a quick overview on how the entire security landscape is actually now at present, especially during the COVID situation, right? So recently, you guys might have heard that the FireEye, which is a very big cybersecurity firm, and it is providing consulting, and it is providing very good tools for the entire industry. Not only the corporate sector, also the government sector, they rely heavily on FireEye for threat intel, for different tools like that. But recently, they also came out with a disclosure that they have been hacked by a nation state. So what does that mean? That means that nowadays no firm is secure. That's very much clear with that statement, right? Next thing is previous in 2020, you might have also heard that many Twitter handles for big bosses that was kind of hacked, and then that is how the hacker enjoyed their identity, and they started posting to people, creating a lot of confusion, right? So a big company like Twitter was also hacked. And then the sooner the COVID situation started, we have seen at least a 500 times increase into the ransomware attack. And it is just not the ransomware attack, it is also about the complexity of these kind of attacks is really increasing to a very sophisticated level, right? So that is where, guys, companies are really very much concerned nowadays. Then we need some kind of technology, we need some kind of people, we need some kind of process, wherein how do we regulate this in a proper fashion, and we can bring this entire risk from the landscape to the acceptable level. So that is where the companies are really very concerned. And not only that, in last few years, we have seen very strict regulations coming for cybersecurity, and people are now very much concerned about cybersecurity because if I talk about cybersecurity from 5 years from now, that was not the condition, right? If you are a CISO, you would have to go and put effort to actually explain things to your board of directors. Now that's not the case because so many hacks happening, so many things happening around. Already the companies are really very much worried on how do we actually curb the risk which is there from the cyber security side, from the IT side, and actually meet our business objectives. So that is the kind of prime concern for the companies nowadays. Now, when we look back, actually, there are three things: there is technology, there is people, and there are process. So technology wise, we are already there because a lot of artificial intelligence, machine learning, solutions like SOAR and things like that coming up, we are really advancing in terms of detection mechanism. But the problem lies with the process and the people. And as you all know, people are the weakest link out there, just not from the end user perspective, also from the workforce, which is actually engaged into protecting your organization. That is the cyber security team. That is where the CISOs they really feel that we are not up until there. People are not that much skilled, which is actually the requirement of the recent time. So there is a lot of skill gap when it comes to cybersecurity. Okay. So having said that, there is another thing which is also very concerning for companies. That is where people, you can hire the best talent, you can find the best technical people out there. They can do the best of their work. But what happens is there is an absolute lack of people who really understand the technology as well as the business. Because end of the day, why do we have the cyber security is to actually support your business, right? Because that is the end objective of any company. If that is not getting fulfilled, then there is no meaning in having a cybersecurity program. So the cybersecurity program has to align closely with your business objective. And for that, we need such people who really understand the technology from the ground up, and also they understand that how the entire business functions and where actually this particular process, maybe kind of vulnerability management, it fits into the entire machinery and how does it provide the value, right? So that is where a lot of gap is there. The language from the leadership is different, the language from the security team is different, and there is always a mismatch, and that is where a lot of gap is there. So that is where a certification like CISSP really helps, because CISSP actually trains you, to actually understand the entire security landscape. For example, if a company is hiring you as a security manager and maybe like a startup, and they ask you, okay, sir, we want you to implement the cybersecurity program. Then what should be your approach? How you can deal with such a complex process? All that kind of learning you will get from the CISSP certification. So it is just not a certification, guys. That is why I'm highly passionate about CISSP certification. I have so many other certifications under my belt. I don't teach for other certifications. My only and only focus is CISSP because it is such a certification which covers each and everything in security, right? So even if you are not targeting CISSP from the certification perspective, if you want to go for the knowledge perspective, I think the real joy lies in the preparation of CISSP. So that is where you will learn a lot. You will learn a lot. Those things which you never even heard of. And when you go through the entire CISSP content, you are a complete package. So that is where if somebody talks about something which you are not working on, but being a CISSP guy, you understand. And you will also be able to comment. You will also be able to send your perspective across to them if you have gone through the entire CISSP thing. So it's such a beautiful certification, I would say, right? It's just not about learning, it is also about earning. Because nowadays, what I see in cybersecurity, people are very much concerned about learning, but they are not focusing on their learning part. They are just thinking about earning, not thinking about learning. I would say, and I do strictly follow that, if you work on your skills, if you learn, you are automatically going to earn. Why you should go and search and hit hard for a particular job? If you already have that skill and you have made a good profile on LinkedIn, companies will automatically come back to you. They are actually looking for people who have real talent. So that is where, guys, CISSP sits on the top. As you can see, 7 top cybersecurity certification, and that is where you will see CISSP at the top, right? So having understood that why we should go for CISSP, let me also talk about this session is for who all people, right? So this session is for people who are having more than 5 years of experience. Why? Because if you are having 5 years of experience and you prepare for CISSP and appear in the exam and clear it, then you can get your CISSP certification. As simple as that, right? But what if you are not having the full 5 years of experience? Maybe you are having just 2 years or 3 years of experience. Then what could be the path in that case, right? So guys, ISP Square, that is the organization which is hosting the CISSP certification, they came out with a very good concept. They say even a college fresher, if he or she want to appear for CISSP exam, they can very well do it. They can prepare and do it. And once they clear their CISSP exam, they are going to be assigned with a ISC Square membership designation. That means what? It brings in the same value what the CISSP certifications bring in. And once you get CISSP certified, then you are having full 6 years to actually showcase your experience into cybersecurity. If you are a CISSP, getting job is not a problem. That is what I have seen at least, right? So it's just not about people who are experienced. Those people who are not experienced, but they have the aspiration to do CISSP, and even the freshers as well. Because as I told earlier, if you start your career with a big insight, if you understand the entire machinery, then you are always able to think better than those people who are highly technical and they are just growing their career in a particular vertical, right? You can go ahead and make your career in a particular vertical, but if you have the CISSP knowledge, then you are always in a better state of understanding. than those people. And also your employability is always higher. Okay, so that is how the CISSP is applicable for almost everyone here on the group. Okay, with that said, let me give you a slight insight how the entire thing actually works. So, first use case I will take wherein you are already having 5 years of experience. So, 5 years of experience does not mean that you should be having 5 years of experience in one single domain. For example, you are working in SOC from start of your career, and you are now 5 to 6 years of experience, then you are still not eligible for CISSP. What you need to do is you have to showcase that you have experience in at least two domains of security, right? For example, if you are into SOC, you can show it as you are into security operations. That is the domain number 7, as you can see on your slide, number 7. And then with that, you can also showcase some experience maybe in one of the other domain as well. So at least two domains you should be having experience at. Now, in case you are just 4 years of experience, and then 1 year is still left out, and you have engineering degree with you, then that certification will also help you to kind of give you a 1 year of viewer out there. So that is a good thing, right? You can definitely go and appear for the CISSP certification. Now, once you prepare for CISSP certification, book your exam, clear your exam, what is the next thing? Clearing your exam does not mean that you got CISSP certified. The next thing which comes in is called as the endorsement process. Now, what is endorsement process? That means once you pass your CISSP certification, there is a application which you have to fill. It's an online application which you have to fill. And once you fill it, then you also need to reach out to a CISSP certified guy who is in a very good understanding. So that CISSP guy will go ahead and endorse your experience. Okay, just like many people, they reach out to me for this, and I have almost helped more than 50, 60 people getting their CISSP certification, right? I am the endorser for them, and I am most happy to endorse you if you have the right level of experience, right? So that is how, if you are having 5 years of experience, then this is the path you are going to have for CISSP. Now, another use case wherein you don't have the 5 years of experience, then how the thing will flow, right? You can still go ahead, appear for the CISSP examination, pass the CISSP examination, and then what you need to do is there will be automatically a ISC Square membership designation which will be assigned to you. And there will be a membership ID or the number which will be given to you. Under that, you have to go, and every year you have to update your experience. Like for example, now you are a fresher, you got CISSP, then you are quickly hired by some company. Then that experience for the next 5 years, you are going to endorse it as part of your professional enhancement. Okay, so once you are having the 5 years of experience, automatically they will go ahead and give you the CISSP certification. So both the ways it is working out very nicely, right? So that is how the entire thing will go. And once you get CISSP certified, you need to maintain it. What do I mean when I say maintain it? Right? So maintaining means on an annual basis, you have to pay an annual fees of $125. Okay, $125. And like if you are CISSP certified guy, if you are just an associate of ISC Square, then you have to just pay, I think, some around $75, something like that. Okay, so that fees you have to pay as an annual maintenance fees, and that is really worth. There is no harm in doing that, because every year they a lot of certifications, a lot of training material ISC Square host on for the members out there. You can go ahead and subscribe to those, and you can avail that trainings for free. right? So that is one way of doing it, right? Another part is uh, uh, if you are a certified guy, $125. If you are an associate, it's $75. And other aspect is, on an annual basis, you need to prove to ISC Square that you are really learning every day and progressing your career in the exam. Right? So how do we do that? What is the best way to do that? So on an annual basis, you have to go and submit some CPEs. That is continual professional education. Like for example, if you attend my training, you can go and endorse this 40 CPEs. Okay, right? Can you just put yourself on mute if you don't have any questions? I will be definitely taking a pause out there for everyone, for questions out there. Feel free to ping for any questions which is coming in your mind. Just put it on the chat and I will be covering that one by one. Okay, so that is how, guys. I think I was talking about the CPEs thing. So CPE is where you are going to prove that you are continuously progressing on the learning path. It's very easy. You have to go through ISC Square own trainings, and then when you attend those trainings, automatically those CPEs will be credited for you. If you go for a webinar, attend some webinar, go ahead and endorse it. So that is how your entire CPEs will be taken care of, right? So that is how it happens. Now, next thing is exam. Exam is wherein many people are so much concerned that CISSP is a very difficult exam, this and that, and a lot of hype. I tell you guys, is at all not difficult exam. The only thing is you need to have the right perspective to actually go and appear for the exam, right? So it takes 3 hours of exam, and in the back end, there is an algorithm which is actually working. So earlier, what used to be around the year 2016, 2017, what used to be that there was a linear exam for 6 hours. And that is where having concentration for 6 hours is a big thing. Even people were not going and appearing for the CISSP examination, first and foremost, because people were really scared going for that. So that is why what they have done is they have reduced the period to half. Now the entire period for the entire duration of the exam is 3 hours. The question will range from 100 to 150, right? Now, why I say 100 to 150? Why not 100, or why not 125, or why not 150, right? That is because there is an algorithm which is working in the back end while you give the exam. And based on your current question, the next question will be based on your current question. So every question has a different difficulty level. And based on that, the algorithm decide what question we need to ask from this guy. So it's just not that you are showcasing that you know the content. It is also the algorithm which is actually gauging you as per your clicks, as per your actions, and then giving you the next question. So if you're answering it rightly, if everything going well for you, just around 100 questions you attended, and you will get a congratulations message. That means you provisionally passed your CISSP certification. In some cases, if you are not answering all the questions right and not as per their expectation, then you may have 50 more questions. It may be 110, it may be 115, 120, depends on where do you stand. But maximum question will be 150. If you are attending 150 questions and you could not clear it, that means you failed the CISSP examination, right? But generally, what I see is people pass their CISSP certification within 100 to 110, 120 questions, right? So that's a good thing, actually, right? The passing percentage is 70%. That is how it happens. It is a purely proctored, I will say. You have to go on the Pearson Center and then book the exam and get it done. They really follow very strict and very high standard the process while you go and appear for the CISSP exam. So that is why it's not like some other certifications wherein you get some dumps on internet, just prepare for them. and then just appear for the exam and you are clear. No, it doesn't happen in CISSP. There are a lot of dumps which are available, and I will talk about it a little bit more into the upcoming slide, right? So, as you understood, the question patterns and things like it, how the duration of the question and all, we will talk about that also a little bit more in upcoming slides. But before that, as I have told you right earlier, that there is an endorsement process. Once you pass your CISSP certification, there is an endorsement process. Endorsement process is very simple. You have to go and click on some online form. You have to fill up some details. Also, you have to fill in a particular CISSP guy membership ID who will go ahead and endorse you. Okay. So parallelly, I have some questions also coming in. Definitely, I will be taking these up, but let me cover a few more slides and then I will take a pause and clear your questions here. Okay. So I was talking about endorsement. So endorsement you can complete within 9 months. I don't think even somebody wait for 9 days after passing the CISSP certification. So it's a simple online application which you need to fill in and provide your experience and your supervisor name and a particular CISSP guy who you know who will go ahead and endorse you. So that is how the endorsement process works. For example, there are 100 applications. Out of those 100 applications, few applications are picked up as a sample by the ISC Square team and they perform an audit on them. That means what? If you are coming under an audit, there is nothing to panic. The only thing which you need to provide is you may have to scan some of your work related experience and those kind of things, anything as an experience, and you can send across to them through email, and then your audit will be clear. So that is how the entire endorsement process works. So the entire CISSP, if I want to conclude to you, it is one, appearing for the CISSP certification. That means passing your CISSP certification, and then after that going for the endorsement process. So it's fairly simple. It's not at all something which we should worry for, right? It's very much as accessible. So that is how the endorsement process works, right? And there is a very beautiful thing about the CISSP certification is that CISSP certification is a lifetime certification. What do I mean by that? Right? Initially, people say it stands for 3 years. But as I told you previously, if you maintain your continuous professional education, 40 CPs every year, and if you're able to complete 120 within a span of 3 years, and you are in a good standing when it comes to your annual maintenance fees, your certification will be then extended for the next 3 years. I have put up my certification here, which you can see on the slide. It is just to demonstrate that it's very, very simple. You just need to maintain the right standards, whatever they ask, and then you can maintain this certification for the entire life. My certification got expired in 2020, and then it was again renewed by ISC Square. Now I have the validity up to 2023, right? So that is how the entire CISSP certification you can maintain throughout your life cycle. Now, you got the basic understanding of the CISSP certification. Let me now talk about the real world challenges. What are the challenges when you actually prepare for CISSP certification, and why people are sometimes frustrated, they are not able to have that continuity? Why does it all happens, right? So the first challenge is keeping consistency is difficult. I think just before the call, somebody has called me up, and we had a call for around 1 hour, and the basic point which that aspirant told me was that, sir, I am preparing for CISSP for last 2 years, but I am not able to maintain the consistency. When we say consistency, is does what does that mean? That you need to constantly prepare for the CISSP exam. And why is that so important? Because the content is huge, guys. Whatever we are going to learn as part of the entire CISSP, the content is so much that you will be covering each and every corner of security, guys. Let me be very honest with you, right? So obviously, if you want to cover each and every corner of security, then you need to put in some efforts. So the thing is, there is a lot of content, there is a lot of things which you have to learn, and that is where people lose their consistency. Now, how do we maintain it? I will come out later. How can we maintain it? All right. I am there to support you for that. Next one is reading is boring. CISSP, if you go and search on internet, there are too many books. There is Sean Harris, there is Cybex, there is CBK, there is Eric Carnard. Too many like authors are there. And what happens is these books are kind of 1000 pages, minimum 1000 pages, 1500 pages. Now, reading is not everybody's cup of tea. Everybody doesn't like reading. People want a fast paced something, right? So that is one of the challenge. That is why people actually just they are on and off when they are preparing for the CISSP exam. One thing is there is a very famous this thing which we keep on hearing from people, that the questions which are coming in the CSSP exams are very tricky. Actually, they are not tricky. Let me be very honest with you guys. The only thing is you have to learn two things. One is reading the question properly and just a little bit practicing some English. How do ISC square put up questions? You need to get familiar with their pattern. That's the one thing. Another thing is, like there is a specific way, there is a specific process to deal with a particular question. If you follow the right process, even a difficult question, you will be able to answer it correctly, right? And I will come on that. I have a separate slide on that to explain you those kind of things. Okay, so for now, I want to make it a mark here that the CISSP questions are, yes, they are tricky, but there are ways and means to actually understand their perspective and do it correctly, right? Everything has a solution. This also has a very good solution. Otherwise, people would not have got their CISSP certification, right? So it's not such a big rocket science out there. You just need to put in some effort to understand. Next thing, as I told you in CISSP, content will be so much. You have to learn a lot of process, right? What happens in asset management? What happens in cryptography? So you will be technical, non-technical, everything you will be learning, right? So that is where people get really lost sometimes. People think that I am not able to memorize, man. I went through domain one, I went through domain two, but when I come to domain three, I'm forgetting everything about domain one. That is a very common question, right? Speaking honest with you guys, you don't need to memorize anything apart from very small thing. Like people try to take everything on their head. That is what the problem is. You don't need to take everything on your head. ISP Square or CISSP exam does not want you that you should memorize everything. What they actually expect from you is if for example, there is a particular situation and they put you in that situation, what kind of security decisions you are going to make. If you are not able to take a right decision, that is a risk for the company. The risk is what actually ISC Square is owning, right? So they don't want that after doing CISSP, people to take wrong decisions and then that can impact company heavily. That is where you just need to understand that the right attitude is required, I would say. And no, the right attitude, the common sense and the security sense. If you have that, you don't need to remember anything, right? So that's the truth, guys. That's the truth. Many people, they constantly come back to me with these questions, and every question, there is a particular solution to all of these, right? Let me talk about a little bit. on the entire effort here. Okay, what is the way out? How do we go and resolve this particular problem? Right? Anyways, you want CISSP, I want that you should be CISSP. Then what is the way out to get this done? Right? First and foremost thing, take it easy, man. Take it easy. People sometimes think, oh man, there's too much stuff. How do I prepare this and that? Man, take it easy. If for 1 week you had some family commitments, you had some project commitment, you could not focus on your CISSP, no worries. Take it easy. Come back. Start preparing from where you actually left off. Right? So that kind of mentality you must have. Don't overburden yourself with putting everything on your head. Don't memorize. Just try to understand the basic concept. If you really focus on concept, you will be able to pass your CISSP certification without any kind of headache. I can give you that guarantee. Okay, so that is one thing you need to understand. Next one. Now, for example, now today you decided, okay, I will go for I will go and do my CISP now, right? Then you, from the very next day, you took a book and start reading it. And what happens is, next 15 days, you are in very much of Josh and everything. On 16th day, you felt, man, nothing is working out for me. Why? Because getting the things, getting the words speak for you is very, very difficult. Instead of that, the easy method will be you go and attend a training. Somebody who has already gone through this entire pain, somebody who has already passed that CISSP certification, and he can really help you to give you an overview of things. And then when you have this overview, then you go ahead and read the book. It is going to be super, super easy for you. Right? So my wording will be you must and should take a training, right? That will actually shape you well. Next thing is have a project plan. Now, what I mean when I say have a project plan, it actually means uh, like the person which I talk about just now, right? He's saying for the last 2 years, I am on and off on the CISSP examination and I'm not able to do it. I'm not able to maintain that consistency and then I'm not able to do it. Like it will never work for you until you have a project plan. Have your goal defined, have your timeline defined, have your monthly targets, have your weekly targets, and your daily preparation target. So if I'm going to be very, very logical with you, I expect that you have some experience in security, then 3 months is going to be good enough for you. If you really are able to at least invest some 3 hours a day, then you will be able to prepare and pass your CISSP certification in 3 months. If you follow what I tell you, okay? So that is one. Those people who are fairly new to this, don't take it within 3 months. At least invest 5 months. At least, I would say. It can be even 6 months, right? Focus on learning. Don't focus on, I will go and crack it as of now. Don't break your head there. Just learn, and automatically you will feel after some time that you have that confidence to go and appear for the exam. I am there. I am there with you to actually help you and tell you when you are actually prepared for the examination. Sometimes you are not able to actually realize that you are already prepared for the examination, right? That is where I can really help you. Okay, so that is one thing. Many people, what they do is sometimes they will refer one book and then sometimes they will refer other book. What will happen? There are two different authors who have different perspective, because security is what security is all about. But people, they interpret it based on their previous past experience, and that is how they interpret it differently. If you actually refer to two authors, you are bound to get confused. So never ever do it. Only refer one book as your main course. Once you complete your one book and you have the complete understanding, then only you go and refer other book. Otherwise, parallelly, don't ever refer to books out there. Otherwise, you are bound to get confused. You will be leading to nowhere. Okay. Next one, parallelly practice questions. Now, what happens is normally, for example, if you want to take a training, like Simply Learn, or maybe like for I don't want to name any company. If you go and take a training, what will happen? These people will give you training for 5 days. That is 40 hours of training, or maybe 45 hours of training. After that, what will happen? Uh, you are at your home, and then you think, okay, now I will read. Then you go ahead and read the book, and then at some point of time you think, now I should practice for the question. By that time, you're already 5 to 6 months are gone. It's not going to work out. And the real strategy should be, uh, go with the content and parallelly prepare for questions. It is going to be parallelly. So whatever I am going to teach you is, after the fifth or the sixth day of the training, we are going to practice some questions. We have some kind of weekly target when it comes to questions, right? So that is where you will actually go through the content and also go through the practice questions. So by end of the third month, you are actually ready to appear for the examination. So that is how it will go. Next thing, people refer a lot of dumps which are available on internet, and these dumps sometimes are really very scary. Those people who have very good understanding also, so what they do, they go and refer some kind of dumps, and these dumps are prepared by someone who really may not even be CISSP certified guy, right? We don't know what kind of questions actually come in the exam. This guy may be an expertise in network, so he will go and dig you deep into the network side. Whereas ISC Square is not expecting you to be an expert into network security. They expect you that you should know the know about network security, but they don't expect you to be expert in network security. And what will happen? You go through the entire pain, and then you go through that dump. That particular question will demoralize you so much that you will feel, man, I am not prepared, and that will break your confidence. I have to spend a lot of time motivating people out of that ditch. That is where people are actually sticking down, right? So please understand these nitty gritty of the entire CISSP. Okay, then guys, let me put up the right mindset for you. Okay, what kind of mindset you should have when you are preparing and when you are appearing for the exam? Okay, what is the exam objective? End of the day, right? Why at all security is there in first place? Security is there to minimize risk to the company. Okay, because everything in a company is tied with risk management. End of the day, we are just a small part of the entire risk management. It is just not IT risk management, is all risk management. There is financial risk management, there is liquidity risk management, a lot of things goes in there, right? Out of those risk, the IT risk is just a small part. And that is where every activity in security, it is actually tied up with risk. You have to think from that perspective. That is the right perspective to actually connect security with business, right? Always remember when you are actually preparing and giving the exam. If you have this mentality, you will be able to set a lot of right questions out there, right? It is just not about knowledge, but the perception. I told you, CISSP, nobody is expecting that you should be knowing all the port of the world, all the computer ports, and all the different protocols. That is not what CISSP is expecting you to be. They are just simply expecting you to understand the technical things to some level, and then also think about business, also think about the process. If there is a glitch somewhere, then don't try to fix that particular glitch. Instead of that, try to fix the entire process so that the next time the glitch does not happen. That is what is being asked, man. It's not that they're testing you if you are able to remediate this glitch. Actually, in companies, what happens? Security team is not the implementation team. We are here to consult people. We are here to advise people that you need to do this task. And while doing this task, please make sure that security is integrated. And then who is the real implementer? Is that the security team? No, that is the CIO team. So that is what you need to understand. You have to think like a manager as a security advisor. You don't have to think as an implementer. And many people who are technical actually go into that wrong loop, and that is where they mess up with things. So that is a very simple concept we need to understand. Next, security is there to support business. End of the day, that is the entire game. Otherwise, who will pay you? Who will pay me? End of the day, we are here to serve a particular company. Why they hired us? Because they don't want that any IT risk should impact the business. That is what we are here. As simple as that. End game is to minimize the risk, as I already told you. Then focus on improving the process. Always focus on process. And for example, if vulnerability management is one of the process, what comes first, what comes next, you should be very, very clear on that, right? If you have to go and hire a third party for the penetration testing, what all steps you will follow, right? So those kind of things you need to understand always. Then next thing is think about how much security to implement. Please remember, very, very basic concept. In security, uh, security comes at a price. It is not for free. It's not open source that you implemented something and happened, right? You need to spend in terms of licensing cost. You have to invest in terms of people hour. You have to invest in terms of infrastructure cost and all, right? So security comes at a price. You cannot just simply spend. If I give you 10 rupees and there are 10 assets, cannot just simply go and give one rupee to everyone. You have to think which asset is more critical for you. How do I invest wisely on security? Right? So that is the kind of thing. And how do you reach to that conclusion? That conclusion will come to you after doing a very good risk assessment. You need to carry out a risk assessment. Now, what is risk assessment and all that? We are going to clear apart into the entire training. That's fine. But as of now, we need to focus on these concepts, right? Also, as a security professional, you should learn a art of communicating security, of selling out security. People call it as selling out security. How do you sell security? Right? That means the leadership is always talking about the balance sheet, profit and loss. Then if you ask them and tell them, I need to have a firewall because firewall will have this particular rule and it will prevent this kind of attack and this and that, it's all crap for them. You tell them, you give them a presentation for half an hour. After that, they are going to simply tell you, man, what is that you want from us, right? What benefit you are going to give it to us? You have to convey them in terms of risk. You have to convey them in terms of financial and reputational loss. Then only they will understand you, right? So that is what you need to understand in the entire CIS. Okay, so having done all that, guys, normally I also do training. As I told you, right, last 4 years I have trained people, and my understanding from all these four years is uh, you need to have a project plan. Take CISSP as a project. Don't take it as an operation. Kar lenge bhai, chal jayega. That is not going to help you, right? You need to have a perfect project plan. How do I prepare for it? And that is how this is an example from my last batch number 18. That is where we define, okay, domain one, 200 slides we are going to read. What is the training plan? And then how many pages you have to go and read? And then how many questions on a weekly basis you need to prepare. You need to invest your time and effort with me for the next 3 months, and I can then give you guarantee that you are going to get CISSP certified. As simple as that. But you have to strictly follow this project plan, right? And I am such a guy who really push people. Even I don't hesitate to scold you people as well if you are not really on your correct path, right? It may be good or it may be bad. People may like or not like, but this is the kind of discipline we need when we are preparing for the CISSP exam. There are certifications you can get very, very easily, but you not get that value. You will get value only when you do something great, right? So the CISSP is a great thing. You should always try to do it. Okay, that's what I am telling you, right? Now, I also provide training. As I told you, my training are not boot camp. The most of the training what you see out there on internet, these are all boot camp. That means what? They will prepare you for 5 days, or it will be focused just on 32 to 40 hours of training, right? This training may not be, it may be appropriate for people who have like gone through cybex 2 times, they have gone through CBK once, they understand this, they have a lot of experience in security. For them it may be good, but for people who really want some kind of solution which is end to end, it requires a deep insight in each and everything. All right. For example, if I need to tell you what is DevSecOps, nowadays people are moving to DevSecOps, and people are moving from a monolithic application to micro architecture. Right. What is that? So to do that, I will tell you the entire story how the thing actually worked in, and then finally when we understand each and everything, then we are going to talk about security. So that is where my courses, they go on with 70 to 80 hours of length at least. Okay, I think Dhaval is there on the group. I think Dhaval, you have gone through my batch, right? What is your experience out of that? How many hours we covered that?
I think, Savar, you are being so sophisticated to put 70 hours, but I remember we went beyond that. So whenever there is a need, you are available to assist, sir. Yeah.
So that is what, guys, because see, CISSP is just not a certification, it's a dream for everyone. Or for me also, it's a dream, right? To help you out in your security journey. I want that, guys, just give me a 1 second pause. I will be quickly back. Just give me a 1 second. Hey, sorry, guys. Sorry about that. Okay, so we have recording already going on. Okay, so guys, what I was telling is that security is the CISSP is just not some kind of easy certification or something like that. It's a passion, it's a dream for many people, and dream has to be treated like a dream. It has to come with the same force as a passion. It cannot be just made as a business. So whatever I teach, whatever the effort, I may be doing great, I may not be doing great, but at least from my side, I know that I am putting my full force into this. I am putting a honest help. I am putting an honest try on that to help you. Okay, so that one said, exam preparation. When it comes to exam preparation, most of these boot camps will only tell, the trainer will tell you that a CISSP certified guy should know this, he should know this, he should know this. But he doesn't go and tell you in depth what is this. That is what I am going to tell you here. Okay. Then all the study material will be provided to you for free. I will be there to help you out with the entire content and all those kind of things, study notes and customized notes and mind maps and things like it. Then lastly, dedicated notes. I am preparing some dedicated notes for each and every domain. Finally, when you have just 15 days left or 20 days left for your examination, go through that content. So that will help you to that will save you a lot of mental stress. Just go through those notes, stick to them, and then based on that you appear for the exam. As simple as that. Okay. Course fee, normally you see course fee ranging in dollars sometimes if that is an international firm, and if even if it is an Indian firm, then people talk about 30,000 to 50,000 of fees. Man, CISSP by itself is a $699 exam, right? Why do you should invest so much into this? Because end of the day you are going to book for the exam also, right? So my entire fees will be 25,000, and in this 25,000 it is a one-time fees. For example, the one here in our group, fortunately he joined today, so he knows, right? He already attended my previous batch, and now he want to continue with me in this batch also. He is free to join here, right? No, no question asked, no money asked there. Until you are getting CISSP certified, you guys are there with me. I am there to coach you. I am there to train you as many times as you need. That is my commitment. Okay, so that is what makes this particular course so special. Okay, then this particular course which is going to start, I have put in 2 months, but I know it's going to be 2.5 to 3 months. That is how we are going to do it. And the course is starting from this weekend, that is 30th of January. All the training will happen on weekends. It will be a 4 hours class. 4 hour class means practically you learn for 3.5 hours only, because otherwise some breaks also there. So that is how we will go. All the batches will start in the evening from 5 to 9, Saturday and Sunday. That is how it will be. I am also making some Udemy courses wherein I'm trying to break the entire big CISSP into 1 hour lecture every day. So I'm also working on that, but I'm not guaranteeing you that at one that can be a bonus for you if that is prepared. So all that content will also be provided to you just for free. Okay, so that is how it will go, and the entire training is going to be online. What is the approach here? Here is I am going to cover all the content for you. I am going to teach you each and every concept. Your work is to just quickly go through book, just skim through the book. I don't say go and underline each and every corner of your book. Don't need to do that. Otherwise, it will take a lot of time. Just skim through book, and then quickly every week there is a target of 250 questions which you have to attempt. If you do that, then definitely next 3 months I can give you guarantee you are going to pass CISS. Okay, so just to conclude things here, what is offering here? The only course which provide end-to-end preparation, that is how I told you. Complete project plan is there with us, and I will be tracking you very hard week by week, and I will be putting a lot of questions to you when you are not prepared for it. 70 hours of intense learning, that is what we say, but it may go even further. Dedicated exam preparation sessions, that means I have some special sessions wherein I will put up some questions out there, and then we will tear that apart. The strategy, how we should go and resolve this particular question. How do we eliminate the 3 options out of 4 and reach out to the correct option? So that is what we are going to learn in some dedicated exam preparation session, which is never the part of any boot camp. It doesn't happen, right? Then the study material, all the study material, I will be providing you. I will be giving you guidance what to read, what not to read. I will also tell you what not to read. Otherwise, that will create a lot of confusion. I don't want you guys to get distracted, right? So that is what I will provide. Free custom prepared notes. I have some notes which I have prepared. I will share with you guys. We are going to practice some around 2,000 questions throughout the entire training. All sessions will be recorded and will be provided to you. And then free access to the course content will be provided for 6 months. I am assuming that within 6 months, you are anyways going to get CISSP certified. If you are not able to do that, then you can definitely come back to me and I can extend it for next 6 months. I don't give it a lifetime because then people take it casually. Okay, if you have some kind of target, that means you are going to do it. That is the entire motive behind that. And then free training and coaching till you get certified. I am there to coach you, I am there to train you for your entire journey, right? This is what you on the right hand side, you can see what people say about me after taking my training. So I don't want to put my own praise in my own words. You can definitely go on my website. I can add you part of some WhatsApp group wherein people have got already certified from my trainings, and then you can go and cross question them. You can ask them what kind of training is provided and whatnot, right? So that is what I don't want to emphasize more on my achievements. So this is the deal for today, guys. My normal course fee is 25,000. If you are going to book the exam, sorry, if you are going to confirm your availability for this particular batch in next half an hour, then I am going to give you a handsome discount of 20%. That means if you are an Indian citizen, then you just have to pay me 20,000 rupees. If you are an international person, then you have to pay me 350 US dollars. Okay, and these are the payment links which I can put it on the chat for you guys. Okay, and feel free to connect me on my WhatsApp number. You can take down my WhatsApp number if you have other questions out there. So with that, guys, let me open this session for any kind of questions you have. Okay, let me go through the chat and what kind of questions we already have here. Is there any waiver for any IT certification which a candidate holds? Yes, there is a waiver of 1 year. For example, if you have done CISA, then you only have 4 years of experience, then also show your CISA certification. They will give you 1 year of waiver. That is how it is there. Everything is there on ISC Square website. And Prabhu is asking, is there any coding or scripting knowledge required for cybersecurity professional? If you are a technical guy who are purely into very technical part of it, for example, you are preparing some kind of exploit and things like it, having coding is experience is good, having scripting experience is good, but in cybersecurity, that's not a mandatory requirement. I know 80% of cybersecurity professionals who are there does not know coding, and they are really doing good in cybersecurity. So that's not something like which is a mandatory, which can hold you back. Is there a waiver for MCA, right? So I would request you go on ISC Square website. There is an entire big list which has been provided for this. Uh, as far as I understand, for MCA, I don't think there is a waiver, but definitely I don't want to commit that. Please go ahead and check from there. Okay, on ISC Square website. Is there any deadline declared by ISC Square to appear in CISSP exam based on CBK 2018? Can I appear for exam after May 2021, or I need to prepare based on CBK 2021? So CBK 2021 has not even come for entire review as of this point, right? There was a plan to actually go and do that in May, but I don't see much progress in that direction because we are members of ISC Square and we get that information from them. So I don't think that for the next 3 months it's going to change, right? So you are entirely safe if you are targeting for next 3 months for CISSP. Best time to go and do that. Which book you recommend to refer? Uh, I recommend Cybex normally, but I have my own custom prepared notes as well, which I will be sharing with you guys. And that is what I would say, I would ask you guys to actually refer to, right? So I have some customized material which is there for you guys to read through. Right? So that is how you can do that. But if you are planning to do it of your own, then I think Cybex is something which you should follow, because there is also Sean Harris, which is kind of good book, but it has not been maintained to that same standard after Sean Harris is no more, right? Sean Harris was a great lady. She was really an expert, and the way she has explained concept is really great. That is why people even now go and refer Sean Harris. But after she is no more, that book is not maintained to that level, right? So I would say Cybex can be the most simplest, and if possible, because CBK is really a costly affair, if you can get CBK, nothing like it, but that is a little dry. That is a little dry. You need to understand that, because dry means you go through the entire page, and after that page, you will not be able to sometimes conclude what they are trying to say, right? So that is the kind of limitation there. But really a very good tool if you go with training and go for CBK, the best ever combination, I would say. Okay. Then I have worked as information security professional and now as IT auditor. How difficult is it going to be for me? Uh, Not at all, I would say. I have, you will be surprised to know, there was a person from HR also who was very passionate. And I think, Deval, if you remember Vivek, right? So that guy was HR, and he then prepared for it and he cleared exam, right? So you are still an IT auditor. You are connected with that. Audit means what? That is assurance. Already part of domain 6 of CISSP. IT audit is just one part of security. You are not out of security yet, right? So you are very much in there, sir. That is what I can say. Next question is, all. Thank you. Okay, so guys, feel free to ask. Please feel free to unmute yourself and go for some questions out there. I'm here to help you guys. And if you enroll into this upcoming batch, which is going to be very interesting batch, today there is a complete discount of 5,000 rupees. You can go and subscribe to that. Confirm me over WhatsApp, and there are some payments link which are here, right? I can also share some payment link via WhatsApp. Okay, just do that, and you will get that, avail that discount. And also a very important part, guys, even if you are paying to me and at a later point of time you feel this is not my cup of tea or something, you come back to me and say, no sir, this is not suiting me, I'm not going to cross question you. There is an entire full refund of your money in 30 days from now. Okay, so that is the level of commitment I can give. I'm basically from a defense background, so you can understand that we are going to have a very ethical engagement with us. Okay, feel free to ask me questions, guys. It's all yours now. I'm there to answer your questions.
Nothing from my end as of now.
Okay, great. Yeah. So, any questions, guys, on anything you want? Like anybody really struggling with CISSP, tried to do that in the past, and what has been the experience? Somebody would like to share any such experience?